Hey, welcome back to the channel. They tried to get Durk. They tried to get him already while he was in the cell. He was on his way. They took him to go to the showers and everything. That's when all the stuff goes down. Normally when they transporting like Durk or anybody from the cell to the showers or whatever, because this the feds and he's a celebrity. So you already know that they're trying to make sure that nothing goes down. But the bodyguards, they were looking the wrong way. The guards was looking the other way, and the dudes tried to come up and flank him right around the corner. Like they already knew that it was about time that he was going to have to go out of the cell and everything like that. So this is when they waited and tried to plot on him everything. And now Durk is complaining that he don't like the food in there. He don't like how everything is being treated. But at the end of the day, people got to realize that you have to already know that you shouldn't have did what you did in order to get back into that position where, like, Durk had a lot of chances. Technically, if you really think about it, a lot of people already were talking and seeing about how Durk been on many cases. He got many mug shots and he been in and out and everything, right? And dude never learned his lesson. That's why a lot of people got to stop glorifying this whole street life thing, man, because look how he threw away his opportunity to take his family out of the projects and all of that. Like now all the Durk's people that they was relying on him for all that money this whole time. He was paying a lot of people's bills and everything, right? And they was relying on Durk for all of that money that he was giving them. And now he's taken completely off out of that. He's taken out of that and he's put in a box. And now them people, they don't got none of that bread no more. Everybody's going broke. And basically they looking at Durk like an opportunity to snitch on him and tell on him so that they could get some sort of reward or that they could get some type of benefit or something like that. And so that's what happened to a lot of these dudes who was really close to Durk, and now they indicted and they ended up telling on him and everything, man. Like, where was the loyalty? Where was the keeping it the street code? Where was all of that when you in the interrogation room, when you got all them years that they about to throw on you and everything? And this is all in California. So everything, that happened in Chicago and everything, that don't slide in California. That don't slide at all, man. So that's why they taking it serious and actually trying to make an example out of Durk, because they don't want nobody sending hits and doing drills in California and they from somewhere else and all that. They gonna make sure they learn that they gonna have to do their time there, and they're going to be held to the fullest extent of all the laws that happen in California, because they already know that it's a lot of like gangs and everything like that. It's a lot of whole like stuff going down every day. Like stuff goes down every day in Cali and everything. So they don't need nothing more. And they basically caught him. They caught everybody. They caught the dudes who was basically they caught the dudes who was blasting at Quando Rondo and Lil Pop. And they caught Durk, they caught everybody, the middleman, everybody in between, like from the big dogs down to the chest palm pieces. And this is where they put all of them in the room and they asking them questions and they giving them years. And you seen how OTF Jam, he looked up at that camera and he looked at the camera and you could see he had all the food they gave him, the whole KFC, McDonald's, fries, and everything he asked for, because he really gave him all the information and gave him the drop on Lil Durk. The feds had all the evidence to take down Durk at least 6 months ago. So they was letting him play out. They was letting everything play out and see what he was going to do next. Like they already was plotting on his next move. They had the phones wiretapped. They already had an ear to the streets. They had OTF Jam wearing the wire. They were watching every single move of Lil Durk's. And basically, this all comes about after the Oblock 5 gets arrested, jammed up, and they all get indicted for what happened to FBG Duck. And they already were watching Durk back then. So they already seen the feds at Oblock the last time it got raided. And now that Oblock got raided again, it's not a surprise, because they already did it one time. The feds is coming back. If they only picked up the Oblock 5 for Duck, they definitely gonna come back to Oblock to get them for the OTF Rico that happened with Lil Pop. So this is why everybody that was at Oblock was basically like sitting ducks, because They was waiting for the feds to come. That, like, a lot of people try to get out of oblock. A lot of people moved, went somewhere else and everything like that, laid low. But some of the people, they was still, you know, getting the handouts from Lil Durk, getting the money and everything. So they stayed over there and boom, 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 blase, blase. Next thing you know, the feds come kicking down the door and they jam everybody up that was left. And they found all the extra stuff that they was hiding and everything. And so once them two dudes that did the drill on Pop, once them two dudes basically got locked up, they was the ones who started telling on everybody. Plus, they already had somebody that's inside of Durk's crew cooperating with the feds because he had just gotten out. And basically, he was using that opportunity as a way to get out of his probation or get a lesser sentence and be free. But he had to work for them. And he was basically right next to Durk as he was rapping all of the stuff, basically telling on himself, self-snitching and everything. So they caught everything in 4K because the dude who was basically Durk's right-hand man was standing right next to him while Durk was incriminating himself, basically the lyrics that they're trying to use against him and everything like that. And so now at the end of the day, you got to remember, this is all being tried in California. So they're going to be extra strict. They're going to go hard on this whole case. It's not going to end up like the YSL trial because it's in a whole different jurisdiction. And one thing you got to understand is that they have everything stacked up against them. One thing you got to understand is the fact that the feds, when they have a 98% conviction rate. So when they slide and they round up all these people and they take down these groups, they have 98% chance that them people are never going to get out again. Unless it's some technicalities or some mistake they made. But a lot of times now the feds, they make sure they take their time with everything. So they do it all by the book so that there's no chance of mistrials or any type of something that they could get out of that jam from. And so they always give the small palm piece an opportunity to tell on the big dog so that they can say, hey, look, we really trying to go for the head of the snake. So they're going to pick up a lot of these dudes with the low level stuff or that get caught up in the streets. But they going to always ask them and get them to tell on the guys who's funding the whole operation and who's calling the shots and the people who's putting money on heads and everything. So they always get somebody like OTF Jam and they put a lot of years behind them. But then they end up saying, hey, you could either do these 25, 35 years or we'll let you out. But you got to work for us and be around these people and you just do what you normally do. But you got to wear this wire. And nobody noticed that he was wearing the wire the whole time. That's the one thing. And and people told Durk, hey, stay away from Jam. Stay away from He just got out. You don't know how his paperwork is and everything like that. They must not have looked at his paperwork or he must have had a proffer agreement, which means that he was able to pretty much get out of his last case if he does them this one favor. A lot of times they ask you to tell the truth on everything that happened in a certain situation, but sometimes they might offer you the confidential informant, the CI, and that's the route that Jam must have went under. And now that you see all the OTF getting taken down, Durk locked up in Cali, they extradited him and everything. They have every evidence from the witnesses to the phone records. They got his iCloud. They got the conversations, the text messages. It's a wrap. Them boys is cooked. And now you got to see the aftermath of all this. It was all fun and games when they was out sliding on people and this and that and doing the music videos and dissing each other in the songs. But now when they in the courtrooms, when they in the jailhouse, in the prison, in these penitentiaries and everything, it's serious. Now it's not no longer fun. And that's why everybody got to realize that you got to look past this. There's more to life than doing all of this, what they was doing. So make sure everybody learn from this and let me know what y'all think about this. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to catch y'all later.